Hello everyone, today I wanted to talk to you about how to cut down a tree safely. In order to cut down a tree safely, you will need a few certain objects. One of them will be a chainsaw. And yeah, that kind of helps you a lot, doesn't it? And then you will also need a hammer, which I think is a lot more effort and work to use. So if you do have a sledgehammer or a split axe, which is what I use, because it's kind of just like a sledgehammer, very heavy, and it will hit the wedge, which you will also need next. You use your wedge to cut into the tree as well. You will need a measuring tape, or some people use measuring sticks. I don't use measuring sticks. I use a measuring tape so that I have a straight line, so that when I'm cutting, I will know where I'm cutting to, because I use a Sharpie to have my line, because you don't want to make that mistake of cutting off course or offline, because once you cut offline, you can't turn around and cut the line again, because you can't really turn around a chainsaw. It's going where it's going to go. So you want to make sure you do it right the first time. You'll also need glasses. Those are important because you could get chips in your eyes and it will hurt very badly. Or you could actually hurt your eyes really badly and be blind for life. So you kind of want your eyes for the rest of your life now, right? You'll also need your helmet, because if you don't have your helmet, then you can hit your head and like with the sticks up over you, and they can hit you in the head and hurt you very seriously bad. Once you have all those things, you'll also need your tree, which is what you're cutting. As you're cutting down your tree, there's a few things that you need to do before cutting down the tree. One of the things is you need a cleared out area. If you have a clear out area, when I say clear out area, it doesn't mean just go up to the tree and start cutting. It means you need to have your area nice and clean where you can walk up, cut without a problem. If there's vines hanging from the tree, if there's little shrubs or bushes or tall weeds or littler oak trees, pine trees around it, you need to get rid of all those so that when you're cutting, you don't make a mistake on hitting any of those bushes or anything as you're cutting, because it could backfire on you and hurt you really bad. And then once you clear your area, then you need a escape route. Since my tree is aiming this way, when it falls, it's gonna fall this way. So I'm gonna run away from it about 15 feet. I think is for this size of a tree. I would have to run about 15 feet away so that when it starts falling, I know where my escape route is, so that it does not fall on me. Because I actually have a friend that got hit by a tree and broke his shoulder really bad. So you always want to escape route so that when that tree falls, you know where you're going to go next. And you, of course, need to clear out that path too so that you know where you're going to go. But once you start cutting down the tree, which is the next step once you make your place cleared around the tree and also have your escape route, the next step is to start cutting your hinge. When you're starting to cut your hinge, that's where you use your measuring device, measuring tape, measuring sticks, as I said, and you will get this measuring tape, and you will get your Sharpie if you're like me, and you will make your line so that you know where you're gonna cut as you're cutting the tree down. And once you make your hinge, which is supposed to be 70 degrees in width, so that when it falls, it can fall on itself and fall straight and nice and clean. Then you're gonna start cutting through the tree, and as you're cutting through, that's when your wedge comes in handy. When you have your wedge, you're gonna want to put in your wedge into the tree so that it keeps it balanced. And because if you don't have your wedge, it could possibly crush your chainsaw for one. And chainsaws don't come cheap these days; they're pretty expensive. So you don't want to crush your chainsaw. Keep care of your equipment. So you want to keep the tree balanced so that it doesn't crush your chainsaw. Another reason is it could come back on you and hurt you as well. Another one is it can hurt your friend, whoever your work partners are. It could crush a house, it could crush a shed. So you don't want to make any failures. You want to keep your wedge so that it keeps the tree balanced, so that when it falls, it will fall where it's supposed to, which is straight, or wherever you're aiming it. And after that, then you just cut through the tree. You keep hammering your wedge so so that as you hammer your wedge, it keeps the tree balanced and it slowly creases a little bit more, so sooner or later it just falls. And that is how you cut down a tree safely without hurting anyone else around you, without hurting yourself, without crushing any houses or sheds. And once the tree falls, stock up on some wood, sell it, or burn it at your house. You got wood for the winter. Thank you for watching.